It's Margarita, and today we're going to talk about are fragrances ruining your life? Yes, you heard that right. People don't understand that addiction comes in many forms. I am someone who actually takes an interest in studying addictive behaviors. And what I found is that a lot of people think that addiction only means abuse of actual substances. And addiction is anything that takes over your logic and you can't seem to stop doing whatever that thing is, and it's causing a detrimental effect to other aspects of your life. That's what my opinion of addiction is. And what I've noticed, especially on social media, is that there are a lot of people coming forward about having a fragrance addiction, particularly in the area of compulsive shopping. Now, let me say this. I am a perfumista to heart. I love fragrance. Fragrance is a way of life. It's a mood lifter. It's an investment in my happiness as I see it. However, anything that we love should not come between the things that matter the most. And if you believe that you have to have a huge collection, that you have to have an expensive collection, that you have to get a new bottle every time something drops, every time somebody on social media says, oh, buy this, buy that, get this, get that, that's not healthy, nor is it necessary. Now, we all would like to have a fantastic collection, of course. However, is it necessary? Does it make you feel less than someone who has a bigger collection than you if you don't have it? And a lot of us, the answer may be yes. For me to be a fragrance reviewer, compared to my counterparts, my collection is on the small side. And I'm making it that way because I want to only have bangers. Yeah, it's nice to have a bunch of stuff for display, but honey, better believe everything that's in this room, everything that's behind me, everything that you see and that you don't see is in my collection for a reason. And if it's not serving me a purpose, it's going for declutter. I'll swap it, I'll sell it, I'll give it away. I don't want things in my life that take up space. And don't serve me a purpose and a purpose for good. What I'm noticing is a lot of people are finding themselves going broke, going into debt, going into these downward spirals of feeling unworthy because of things that they see on social media. One thing I want to recommend, and I just want to preface this by saying this is not financial advice. I am not a licensed financial advisor or anything like that. So don't take this as professional advice. This is just for informational and entertainment purposes only. I always have to give a disclaimer statement because it's always that one person. You know who you are. You can stop watching. That takes everything, too far. So yeah. I just put that out there. But anywho, back to the video. If you are finding yourself using Klarna, Afterpay, or similar services for fragrances, that's probably a sign that an intervention is needed. That we need to step back and think about this for a minute. Right now, a lot of designers are selling us on FOMO, the fear of missing out. Limited releases, even houses that typically don't release fragrances often are now releasing stuff back to back to back. And I'm noticing that, and I'm honestly getting annoyed because for me, fragrance is a curation. It's like a museum. I want to have great pieces in my collection, and from certain houses that really, really take their time to present a good product. And when I'm seeing exclusive houses becoming less and less exclusive and more like fast fashion, where there's new styles every week or every month, we got this new, it makes me question the quality, the consideration, even, the integrity of the brand. And I want you to do the same too. I always want you to make the best decision. I can tell you till the cows come home about this fragrance, that fragrance, and this other fragrance. But one thing I will always do is give my honest opinion. I will not try to sell you on something just for the sake of selling you on something. I just want to share information from my experience. If you are being sold something by somebody every other week and every review that this person gives is good, that's a red flag. That's not trustworthy. Because nobody likes everything they smell. That's impossible. Or that person just has no discretion. And you really want to think about things like that. Even when I do collaborations or sponsorships with companies, I want to make sure that it's something that I can get behind. Even if I don't particularly care for the product after I've tried it, I'm still going to give my honest opinion about it. And that's what people need to understand. A lot of these things are honest. How many times have we bought things off someone's recommendation only to hate it? I have lost count. There are so many fragrances I've been quote unquote sold on that I could not stand after I smelled them. I was just like, what planet is this person from? Who likes this? Let me know in the comments if you've had that same experience. Like, what on earth were they thinking? Then you come to find out they stood to gain a huge financial benefit from selling you on something that they got for free. Now, not all sponsorships are bad. I'm not saying that at all. What I'm saying is take any review, even mine, with a grain of salt. Get fragrances that work for your body chemistry, things that work for your lifestyle. Case in point, if you work in a place that has some places don't allow fragrances, or at least don't allow strong fragrances, don't go and buy every beast mode fragrance and you can't even wear it most of the time. That's not practical. If you are someone who, for example, like me, likes gourmand, and I'm very partial to gourmand, I have a very picky nose, I will hear the most beautiful description of a floral, of a shripa, of a citrus, and I'll be like, ooh, that sounds good. I'm not about to go buy everything though. What I would do is I would wait for more reviews. I would wait to really, really see how these notes work with me. Maybe try some fragrances you already have that may have similar notes. Fragrantica.com is a great resource to learn more about notes. Perfume is another great site. And there's lots of resources. And right here on YouTube, even if you have questions about fragrances, I'm happy to answer those for you. Just shoot me a message or comment under a video. But my goal is for the people who watch my channel to know that you do not have to buy everything you see. You are okay. Nobody is better than anybody else because they have more things than them, because their fragrance costs more than what they have. And if anybody does try to make you feel bad for not having a material item, that's somebody who really doesn't need to be in your life. And there's no need for you to feel the need to compare yourself to them. There's so many things I see on social media that people find real, and I don't get it. When I was coming up, well, social media wasn't even a thing. Heck, internet wasn't even popular, but it's like, and I'm kind of grateful for that. I feel sorry for a lot of people who are coming up in the age of information, or should I call it misinformation, because there's so much. Anybody right now can put something out and go viral. And sadly, most of the things that go viral are not things that are positive, or not things that are healthy, and are very disingenuous. So I just want you to know that if you are having a problem with overspending, if you are going into debt for a hobby, if you are finding yourself feeling like you're less than because you couldn't get the latest drop from this or from that, or because you don't look like or have the things that your favorite influencer has, it's okay. Quality of life over everything. Remember that. A lot of people who have a lot of things are hiding and burying emotional things that they're dealing with. And I personally would rather have a happy state of mind than an empty bank account, if that makes sense. It's funny because a lot of my friends ask me, well, you have these expensive fragrances and you have this and that. It's all about how you spend your money. For example, we could make the same amount of money. We spend it differently. It's not the what, it's the how. People always say, well, you always got money for perfume. Yeah, because I don't go partying. I don't drink. I don't feel the need to go on a trip every time. I spend my discretionary income differently. It's all about budgeting. And I darn sure I'm not going into debt for a perfume. I don't care how great it is. My rule when it comes to credit cards is that if you cannot pay that off every month, unless it's an emergency, and I mean like a medical emergency. If somebody is dying, severely hurt, if you're about to lose your house, like something like that, a true emergency. Something going on sale is not an emergency. A new item drop is not an emergency that is worth compromising your long-term, financial stability, your mental stability. Because what debt does, debt causes you to downward spiral mentally. Debt is the worst form of it's modern day slavery. As long as you owe people, you are working for them. You're not really getting to benefit from your labor. And that is a horrible feeling. I know what that's like, and I never want to feel that again. And if this video can help save somebody else from feeling like you have to have this, that, or the third in order to be worth something, no, do not do it. Let me know in the comments if you agree. Let me know in the comments if you are someone who struggles with compulsive shopping. This is something I think that people don't talk about much because it doesn't benefit them financially, but I don't care. I want to talk about it because this is something that I want to see improve. I want people to put more value and emphasis in the content of character versus the content of what's in their closet, what bag they carry, what perfume they wear, what shoes they have on. I'm going to step down off my soapbox now, but I just felt compelled to talk about that because I want every person who watches this channel to feel welcome, to feel a part of this community at whatever price point you spend. You know, everybody is on a different part of their fragrance journey, of their life journey. And I respect that and I appreciate that and I acknowledge that. If there is something that you want, save up for it. If you have discretionary income, think about how you spend it. Again, it's not the what, it's the how. So if you ever look at somebody and say, I wonder how can they afford that? And we work the same job. I had someone ask me that once and I was just telling her, this is how I spend my money. This is how I see you spending yours. And it's really eye-opening. Another passion I have is handbags. I love luxury handbags. And there was a young lady who was working with me and she would have a new handbag like every week, but she really wanted a Louis Vuitton handbag. And I was asking her, why don't you have one? She says, I can't afford it. I was like, I see you with a new bag every week. Now she would get these bags from Amazon. So I'm like, okay, there's 52 weeks in a year. You spent 30 or 40 bucks a week on these Amazon handbags. Over the course of this year, you could have had a couple Louis Vuitton bags. And she was like, oh my God. I'm like, yeah, it's quality over quantity. See, the problem is people like instant gratification. So they figure, oh, well, I can get this right now, so I'll just do that. No, honey, play the long game. Less is more, quality over quantity. I would rather have 2 or 3 really good bags than 25, little cheap bags that are going to fall apart on me, that are going to smell like plastic, that are not going to have the quality that I want, and here's another thing. A lot of times people buy these things wanting to look rich. Why don't we adopt rich habits versus just trying to look rich? Because I will tell you something. People who really have means and who are of wealth or who are in upper echelon and tiers like that, they know when a person is not one of them. A person is trying too hard to blend in. And it usually the possessions usually scream that. So I would say it's more honorable and it's even better to just have a few really good quality things than a whole bunch of junk. Let me know in the comments if you agree, disagree, indifferent. Let's start a discussion. Let's start talking more freely about the things that we battle with, and let's help one another versus tearing one another down on these social media platforms. And remember to like, comment, subscribe, and share. It is my goal to grow this channel exponentially, and I need your help to do so. And until next time, I am Margarita, and you have an awesome day. Bye.